The Shoreline Arts Alliance, dedicated to educating audiences, encouraging artists, engaging our youth, and enriching our community. The Shoreline Arts Alliance presents renowned arts events, including Future Choices Awards and Scholarships, a juried art exhibition for outstanding high school art students at the Lime Academy College of Fine Arts. Awards and scholarships are presented to the top artists selected by judges. Images. Images celebrates the art of photography and encourages excellence among photographic artists. It is the oldest annual statewide juried competition and exhibition open to all Connecticut photographers. Awards are presented. Shoreline's Top Talent, Scholarships in the Arts. A competition for Shoreline High School juniors and seniors of exceptional talent in creative writing, dance, instrumental music, vocal music, theater, and visual arts. Scholarships and mentorships are awarded to the winners. Shakespeare on the Shoreline, the most popular and well-recognized summer cultural event of the Shoreline community. Free admission on the historic Guilford Green to an evening of entertaining, engaging, and educational theater. In conjunction with Shakespeare on the Shoreline, we offer the Rising Star Theater Experience summer program for children 7 to 17, promoting creativity, critical thinking, cooperation, literary enrichment, and self-confidence. Tessie Walden Awards, New Voices in Children's Literature, a competition that encourages and nurtures the creation of exceptional quality books for children by unpublished Connecticut writers and illustrators. Awards are given to the winners. Shoreline Art Space Series and Special Events, a collaborative arts exhibition program showcasing the creativity, expression, and voices of Shoreline fine artists in a local gallery or public setting for free. In addition, we often produce special events from quartets to quintets to celebrated choir and a cappella groups. Member organizations. The Shoreline Arts Alliance provides an arts calendar at www.shorelinearts.org for up-to-the-minute happenings, weekly e-blasts called Arts Week at a Glance and Quotable and Notable, workshops, and a peer advisory network to our members. We have had great success for more than 3 decades and look forward to many more decades filled with outstanding cultural opportunities. To succeed, we need the support of foundations, corporations, local businesses, cultural agencies, and most importantly, individuals, families, and artists like you to make it happen. Your gifts support our mission to educate audiences, encourage artists, engage our youth, and enrich our community.
Hi, I'm Carly Callahan, and welcome to this November edition of Spotlight on the Arts, sponsored by the Shoreline Arts Alliance. So happy to welcome you back today. It is now November, and the weather has turned a bit chillier. Everyone has a tendency to want to huddle inside around the fireplace, but the great news for you today is that there is still so much going on in our arts community all around the state of Connecticut. So as always, I encourage you to get out and experience all that we have to offer. So today I'm extremely excited to be here in the studio with 3 phenomenal artists who are going to be telling us about who they are and what they do, and more about the Shoreline Arts Trail, which is just around the corner. So I would like to introduce today Molly Sullivan McDonald. Molly, welcome.
Hi, Carly.
Hi. Steve Plasiak, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Steve. And Lexi Axon. So all 3 of them are great artists in the state of Connecticut, and one of the great joys that I have in doing this program is meeting people like yourself. And every time I'm done filming, I say the same thing to myself, which is, how did I get so lucky to be in a community that is so rich in terms of the spectrum of talent and the depth of talent that we have right in our own backyard. So exciting to meet all 3 of you and to welcome you to the program.
Thank you.
So before we get into the Shoreline Arts Trail and what that is and why everyone should get out and experience it, I'd love to chat with all 3 of you about who you are as artists, where you live, what type of art is your specialty, and any other little tidbits you want me to know and all of our audience to know about you. So why don't we start with Lexi?
Oh, thank you. My name is Lexi Axon, and I'm also known as Lady McCready from my Andy Warhol days in New York. I started showing in the East Village in the late 80s, and at the same time I had shows in Paris. And I have a dealer in London, and I've shown in Tokyo. So, but I'm a New Yorker, so it's really fun to be in Guilford and to have an arts community that sort of centers around Guilford Arts Center and the Shoreline Arts Trail.
Yeah. Have you been in Guilford for a long time?
Back and forth for
Okay.
26 years in Madison.
How wonderful. Now, was Guilford's kind of artistic profile something that brought you to the town initially, or?
It was actually Madison. I had an aunt who lived on the shoreline who collected Vlaminck and Picasso and Matisse in her house on the water, and so I was really taken with that when I was a child, and it's why I became an artist and went to. I have an MFA from Syracuse University and BFA and an MFA from City University of New York, Hunter College. Yeah.
So how lucky we are to have you going back and forth.
Thank you.
That's really, really neat.
Thanks.
Great. And Steve, what brings you to our community?
Well, I've been in Guilford for 22 years. And yeah, I'm a little bit more local than I'm not as accomplished, but I do a lot of watercolor painting.
Okay.
During the day, I work full time, but during my lunch hours, I'll go and paint. And I've been doing it for quite a long time, since I was a kid. I grew up in Rhode Island. This is my one time a year where I actually open my studio and have people look at what I do.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that, because I find that I think the process of creation is so fascinating, and I'm a performing artist and not a visual artist at all, and I love to see what you do in the process of creating the art, because it just baffles my mind as to how you can take something from in your brain and in your heart and in your soul and create the physicality of that on canvas or whatever your medium is. It's really fascinating. So Lexi, I don't know if we got to what type of art is your specialty?
I'm sort of a multidisciplinary artist, but I make paintings, oil on canvas, acrylic on paper, and I make sculptures as well. So I work in a variety of medium because I work all the time, and I sort of switch back and forth in a sort of fluid fashion because I work in my studio with a variety of things going on at the same time. And I think creativity, is something that a lot of people are excited about and learn about, and especially now, even in computers, because I teach digital art at Eastern Connecticut State University. It's something that people are really excited about learning how to think in a different way.
Right, absolutely. And it's so interesting now with technology, how it's kind of unleashed this whole arsenal of ability to express and create that we didn't have before. That's really neat that you're able to usher the next generation into this scene.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. And so Molly,
Yes.
last but certainly not least.
Oh, well, I was thinking that Steve was underestimating himself. He said, "I'm not as accomplished." He is a fantastic watercolorist, and I know folks will enjoy seeing his work. They always have.
Great.
And I work. I'm a painter too, but I can't wait to do some sculpture as well. It mixes in. I taught in art in Guilford for 36 years.
Wow.
All the grade levels, and I was trained in a local state school. They call it Southern Connecticut University now. Got 3 degrees there as I was living at home with Mom, and then my life changed all through it, and I've got to know many wonderful parents and students who live in the Guilford area.
I'm sure.
Through that.
I'm sure, and how rewarding it must be to.
Well,
You
yes.
taught so long that I'm sure there's all these artists that were young artists and now are probably.
Oh yes, and then when you're teaching, your ideas just grow. And you learn that there are so many different ways of approaching an idea and work on all different types of materials.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. So I've ended up with really exploring color. And I'm teaching a fundamental class over at the Guilford Arts Center where ladies also teaching. But as we go back to teaching again, and I've been retired 5 years, it's a review.
Yeah.
And you start again with all your ideas, even though you've been painting for, what,
Right.
45 years.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it really is a lot of fun to work with the folks and then to put your work out there, expose your ideas to
Oh
the
my
public.
gosh,
which
the
is
vulnerability of
Yes,
that, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
But
interesting.
somehow we do it anyway.
Yeah.
We open our doors to the public.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, as I said, it's such a joy for me to talk to artists across
Yeah.
all disciplines. And one of the themes that comes up over and over again is how there is this vulnerability that we all share, that this is coming from here.
Yeah.
And whether it's getting up on stage or showing at a gallery or whatever, it has to express itself and come out. And with that comes that fear, I think, that we all share of what will people think and how will I be judged. But that's
Right.
what really makes it art and makes it beautiful, is that we're showing
And,
ourselves, I think.
And we have folks that, after you sell a few pieces, you get reinforcement that
Right.
yes, there is an audience out there for us.
Right.
And, I have worked down at the Cooper Smith Gallery in Essex. It's a nice
Oh, yes.
nice little gallery,
Yep.
and it's very they're very supportive. And then our Arts Trail helps us bring it to
Right.
the public, and a lot of the other galleries. I just drove back from Rowayton where I had some pieces down there.
So you're all over the state
all
of
over
Connecticut.
the state, yes, and Connecticut women artists were up in Texas University. There was work up there, and it's
Great.
fun. Mostly, oil and watercolor,
Oil and
abstract
watercolor.
and representational,
Yes.
the whole gamut.
That's fabulous. So, for those of our audience out there that aren't familiar with the Shoreline Arts Trail, what that is, what that encompasses, can either of you kind of clue us all in as to what it is all about? Because it's a really exciting initiative, I think.
You know more.
Well, I've been the coordinator for, I think I joined the trail 5 or 6 years, 6 years ago, and I think 3 years ago they made me the coordinator, so I get to send emails and stuff. And actually Lisa Carlin has been stepping in more to help on that. But I've lived here for over 20 years, and my wife and I used to go visit the studios, and she said, "Why don't you just join?" So I joined, and it's been fun. It's been great. There's a lot of artists. There's fiber, there's clay, there's 2D, abstract,
Right.
Jewelry. And
jewelry.
everything.
Yeah,
There's
there's a wide array of artists. That's we used to plot it out and have different studios we would go to.
And you
Okay.
left out paper cutting, Martha Link.
Paper cutting, yeah.
So, about how many
Printmaking?
artists participate in this event?
It's ranged from like 42. I think this year it's 37. or
Wow.
38.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
some people decide to take a year off, and then we jury some new people in. And
Okay.
it has to be a right fit. They have to have a studio. They have to have sort of a good quality work. And
How neat. So the public then is able to get access to these individual studios and
Yes,
meander
yes.
in and witness
Yes.
the artist at work. Is that
Yeah.
kind of the
It lasts
genesis of the program?
two days on the weekend, the 10th and the 11th of November, and we have previews that folks can see at Wall Street Gallery in Madison and at Friends and Company.
Okay.
We have an opening there so folks can see what maybe they'd like to see. It's difficult to see all the artists in one weekend.
Oh my gosh, I mean,
Yeah.
37 or
Yeah.
40, you'd have
Yeah.
to have a really quick visit to all of them, but
there's a map. I don't
Right.
know if anyone brought a map, but it'll
Yeah.
show you little thumbnails of each artist's sort of
Okay.
what they're showing for that year, maybe, and then it'll give you an idea of where they are.
I
the
see.
studios.
And on the map is the list of our sponsors, and that really is how we support this.
right,
We're-
because this can't be an
Yeah.
inexpensive program to put together, I would imagine,
Yes,
right?
we all have a fee that and
Right.
a lot of energy that we volunteer to put into it.
Right.
But
Now, who are the
sponsors help
sponsors
us.
for the program?
We have lots of sponsors. My brother is one of the sponsors.
Please mention him because
Tommy Sullivan's Cafe
You're
and
great.
over in Branford.
Okay.
And then, I'm sure. Who are the other? Do you have the list? of
Friends
those?
and Company,
Friends.
they've been a long time sponsor.
They're great, yeah.
Wall Street Gallery.
right.
Tidewater Inn used to be.
Used to
Mm-hmm.
be,
Well, we'll
yeah.
be able to direct our viewers to the website to get more information about who is sponsoring it and how to be a part of it. So what's intriguing to me and so exciting is the idea that we can, the non-visual artists amongst us, can get a peek into your process and
Oh yes.
what you're doing. And one thing that impresses me so much about what you do versus, for example, people in the performing arts is that our rehearsal process or creation process is often witnessed by lots of different people having lots of different input. But I would imagine that your process is much more private, generally speaking. So what is it like as an artist when you have people like myself kind of peeking over your shoulder to see how it is that you do what you do?
When you said private, we've
Yeah.
always had a group of Friday night painters.
Okay.
And well, right now it's down from 14 to about 7 that meet on Friday nights at the Guilford Arts Center.
Oh,
and
neat.
we come from all walks of life, paint, and they're extremely knowledgeable women. And there were men in the group too, but they're often different parts of the world. So it's a community as well as working privately.
Right,
And we
okay.
need that reinforces staying in the studio and
That's
finishing
nice.
out an idea. Or,
Right.
Well, it's never really finished, but
Right.
And it brings up the issue of critique. So
Yes.
when you're in a group, you all talk about the work. And when
Yeah.
you take a class, the same thing happens at the end of class. You look at the work together and discuss the positive things, the composition, the way it's arranged, what it says, what it speaks back to you when you look at it as a viewer. So those are like performing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the aspect that when you bring the public in, and then of course the public brings their own interpretation on a visual piece of art that's as valid as what the artist puts into it.
Right, right. That's so interesting, and it must give the general public such a deeper kind of ownership of the scope of what we have around here, and being able
Right.
to see
So
you all
we'd
work
love
in your
to-
own environments.
yes, sorry, I
No,
interrupted
no.
you. I was just thinking about how much fun it is to share ideas and even use their techniques to see if part of it can be part of you.
Right.
You know, and nobody minds. We pretty much enjoy sharing the sense of color, where we got the
Right.
idea of the color, what was that extra piece you put into the blue.
Right.
You know.
So it's a really great gift for the community, but maybe also for the artist as well, right?
Yeah, it is a solitary journey
Yeah.
for sure. But I paint at lunch with a coworker, and it's kind of interesting to see us two artists, sort of take on the same subject. And it's just completely not completely different, but there's nuances that are. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Just,
Different interpretations
Yeah.
of a similar subject matter. So what is the spirit of this Shoreline Arts Trail? Is it awareness? Is it education? Is there some driving desire
I
behind
think
it?
it's art lifestyle. The lifestyle
Okay.
of an artist is very interesting to many people because many of us don't. We work in our studios. We might have studios outside our houses, but we work full time as artists, and that is a total economic mystery to most people.
Yes.
In terms of how do we do that?
Right.
So, and I think a lot of people come looking to see, well, what is their house like? Why is the light different? What's the arrangement? How do they live? And artists tend to be more self-sufficient, less consuming, creating their own reality. It's actually sort of a different lifestyle. And you'll find a lot of artists that have a very sort of green orientation. They're more worried about climate change, activist issues.
Right.
There's the whole lifestyle of
Right.
an artist is fascinating to many people, I think.
Yes.
Finding out where our inspiration comes
Right,
from.
right.
Mother Nature, was it a walk you took down the road? Or
Right,
was it
right.
And then there's also a mission of bringing the arts to the public, open the doors and listening to what the questions are and trying to answer them.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, bringing the art into the public space
Yeah.
and allowing access. Yeah.
Right.
That's great. That's great. Well, it sounds like such a fabulous program, and I'm embarrassed to say I haven't taken advantage of this yet, but I have to this time because this is just wonderful to hear about and really inspiring. So it's coming up. It's just around the corner. It begins on November 10th. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it's the 10th and 11th?
Yes.
Okay, and where do people go to get access to the maps and the lists and all that?
The website, shorelineartstrail.com.
Okay.
You can find maps, locations to find maps if you want to go out and get a map, or you can, all the artists' studios are, on Google Maps. So if you're on your phone
Right.
and you're just driving
Just
around,
map it out.
you can
Okay.
map it out that way.
So that's shorelineartstrail.com.
.com.
Shorelineartstrail.com is the place to go to get the information as to where to go and who to see. And is there a fee associated with this?
Never.
No.
No. That's a big no.
No.
So you don't have any excuse to not take
And you
advantage
will
of
see
this.
trail maps where
Okay.
each studio is, as you can see on the front
Right.
of the
Yeah, we're
studio
going to
there.
replace all of the political signs with open studio signs. So that'll be,
That'll be refreshing.
Yes.
That's something to look forward to for sure. So this is November 10th and November 11th with 38 Shoreline artists, 6 local business sponsors, as well as the Guilford Arts Center and Zippo 6. So what a fabulous opportunity this is for all of us to get outside and to get to take a peek into the lives and the work of these phenomenal artists and get an even deeper appreciation for what they do and have a conversation with them, a dialogue about their work and what has inspired their work and what continues to inspire them. So this is, to me, just a phenomenal treasure that we have right here on the Shoreline. So I encourage you to get out and look forward to seeing you on the trail. I think it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous weekend to do so. So Lexi, Steve, and Molly, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
Carly.
here today.
Thank
It's been a
you.
pleasure to have you on
It's
the
been
program.
fun.
And we look forward to seeing you out on the trail.
great. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you.